Hello everyone, this is Danielle and welcome to another great video by The Artistic Space. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to this channel for more amazing DIYs and creative content. Today I'm going to show you how to make a trendy bucket hat in just a few minutes. Let's get started. You are going to need to download and print Lyfe's bucket hat pattern. I have included the link to this pattern in the description down below. When printing this pattern, I have decided to do something a bit different. Given that pieces 2 and 3 tell us to cut 2 pieces and both should be placed on the fold of the fabric, I've decided to print 2 copies of pieces 2 and 3. You don't have to do this, but overall this will make the process of cutting the fabric using a pattern a lot easier and more convenient, as you could do it all in one go. For piece 1, you are going to cut out 1 piece on the fabric and on the lining. For piece 2, you are again going to cut out 2 pieces on the fabric and on the lining. Both of these pieces will be placed on the fold. For piece number 3, you are also going to cut out 2 pieces on both the fabric and lining with the bottom piece on the fold. Now that you have all of your pieces together, it's time to get your fabric and lining. To make the process a lot faster and easier, I have laid down the lining, which is the white fabric, and placed the main fabric, which is the blue fabric, on top of it. I am now going to put the pattern pieces that will be placed on the fold down. These are pieces 2 and 3. We are going to pin these pieces onto the fabric. And this is what it now looks like after I have pinned the pieces 2 and 3 to the fabric and lining. Now I am just going to cut away at that excess fabric. And once that is complete, we are going to put that over to the side and work on piece number 1. For this particular piece, I've just cut out a square that is slightly larger than the pattern piece, and I've taken away 1 piece of fabric and 1 piece of the lining, given that the instructions call for us to cut out 1. I am doing this with the excess lining and fabric, with again, the lining at the bottom and the fabric on top. Now we can go ahead and pin the piece to the fabric and lining. Once we have pinned it all together, we can begin cutting the pieces out. Cut out all of your pieces. That includes pieces 1, 2, and 3. And here they all are, all of our pieces ready for us to work with. Let's start working with pieces number 3. We are going to start by first unpinning them. After we have done this, let's begin working on the main fabric pieces. You are first going to unfold each of these pieces, which will reveal how long this piece really is. Then turn both of the pieces around to where the sides of the pieces are facing one another and place one of those pieces on top of the other. We are then going to join these sides together through pinning them up. Be sure to do this for the other side as well. We are eventually going to be sewing both of these sides together. Now, just repeat these steps for the lining. Now, moving on to the 2 pieces for number 2, let's begin unpinning these pieces. After we have unpinned these pieces, we are going to work once again with the main fabric first. Start by unfolding each of the fabric pieces. After that, we are going to place the pieces on top of one another and pin the sides together. Once again, do this with the lining pieces as well. And now I am just sewing all of those sides that I have pinned together. This is what everything should now look like once all of the pieces have been sewn together. Now, let's start working with piece number 1. Begin unpinning this piece. Let's start working with the fabric portion of piece number 1. Take piece number 2 and attach piece number 1 on top of it. To properly put them in place, take piece number 1 and attach it all the way around the top portion of piece number 2. This is what it should now look like. I went ahead and did the same thing for the lining pieces as well. We are going to then sew where we have placed the pin. Sew all the way around. This will be the top of your hat. This is what the top of your hat should now look like on its right side. Now turn it inside out again and let's start to attach piece number 3. We are going to do this by attaching piece number 2 by the upper portion of piece number 3 and pin them together. Do this all the way around. After this, sew them together.
Also, I went ahead and did the previous steps for the lining. Once you have done the previous steps, you can then sew the lining pieces together as well.
This is what both the fabric and lining pieces should now look like. For the next steps, turn the lining inside out and leave the fabric on its correct side. Place the fabric inside of the lining. Then pin all the way around the sides, except for a small portion. When sewing, you are going to leave about an inch unsewn. Remember to leave an inch unsewn and sew the rest together. This is what your hat should now look like from the inside out. Now, be sure to turn your hat on its right side using the space that you created through leaving a portion unsewn. This is what your hat should now look like on its right side. We're almost done. All we have to do now is bring the unsewn portion on the inside and sew all the way around the hat on its right side. And I'm just going to be securing what I'm going to be sewing with pins. Once again, sew all the way around the hat. And we are all done. Congratulations! You have just learned how to create this cute bucket hat in just a few minutes. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to this channel for more amazing DIYs and creative content. Thank you so much, and I can't wait to see you in the next video.